Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai's Football News. We're kicking things off today with a massive story that has the football world buzzing, and it involves the biggest game on the calendar next month. Both ESPN and BBC Sport are reporting that Kylian Mbappé is in serious doubt for the upcoming El Clásico against Barcelona, after Real Madrid officially confirmed the French superstar has picked up a left hamstring injury, specifically to his semitendinosus muscle. Now, hamstring injuries are notoriously unpredictable when it comes to recovery time. So the big question hanging over the Bernabeu right now is, will Madrid's star man be fit enough to face their fiercest rivals? And here's where it gets even more dramatic, folks. According to The Athletic, Barcelona could actually wrap up the La Liga title before El Clásico even takes place, potentially as early as this coming Sunday. So for Real Madrid, this fixture might end up being less about the title and more about pride. Meanwhile, The Athletic also reports that there's real unease behind the scenes at Real Madrid, with their La Liga campaign having slipped badly under the management of Álvaro Arbeloa. A draw against Real Betis has all but handed the championship to Barcelona. Things are not looking pretty at the Bernabeu right now, and losing Mbappé for the Clásico would be the last thing they need. Alright, staying with Barcelona because they are absolutely not wasting any time. ESPN is reporting, citing a confirmed source, that Barcelona have already reached out to Atlético Madrid to sound out the possibility of signing striker Julián Álvarez this summer. Now think about this for a moment. Álvarez was electric for Argentina in the World Cup and has been one of the most dynamic attackers in Europe since joining Atlético. Barcelona clearly want to know the price and whether Atlético would even entertain selling. The fact that Barca are making these calls while they're on the verge of winning La Liga tells you everything about their ambition heading into next season. Atlético, of course, won't give him up easily, and you'd expect Diego Simeone to fight hard to keep one of his key men. But if Barcelona come knocking with the right numbers, this is the kind of transfer saga that could define the entire summer window. Keep this one bookmarked, folks, because I have a feeling we're going to be talking about Julián Álvarez a lot over the coming weeks. Now here's a transfer story that absolutely exploded over the weekend, and it involves a goal so good it could genuinely win the Puskás Award. ESPN's Transfer Talk is reporting that Arsenal, Barcelona, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United all had scouts in attendance to watch Ajax winger Mika Godts, and he did not disappoint. The young Belgian lit up the match with a goal that, frankly, you need to look up right now if you haven't seen it already. We're talking pure, jaw-dropping, highlight reel brilliance. When 5 of Europe's elite clubs send scouts to the same game, that tells you this is a player who could be on the move in a very big way this summer. Godts has been one of the standout performers in the Eredivisie this season, and it seems like the rest of Europe is well and truly taking notice. The race to sign him is shaping up to be one of the most competitive transfer battles of the window. Who gets him? That's the million-dollar, or rather, the multi-million euro, question. Manchester United, never short of drama, are they? ESPN is painting a fascinating picture of the managerial situation at Old Trafford, and it essentially boils down to this. Do United go with the safe, familiar choice in Michael Carrick, or do they swing for the stars and try to lure PSG boss Luis Enrique away from Paris? ESPN describes it as a choice between a solid candidate and a unicorn, someone who ticks literally every box on the wish list, but may be extremely difficult to actually land. Luis Enrique has won major trophies. He plays attacking football, he speaks multiple languages, and he has experience managing some of the biggest clubs in the Spanish national team. But PSG aren't just going to hand him over without a fight, especially with their own ambitions in Europe. Carrick, meanwhile, brings continuity, a deep understanding of the club, and the respect of the dressing room. It's a genuinely fascinating call for United's hierarchy to make. One thing's for certain, whoever ends up in that dugout at Old Trafford will have one of the toughest rebuilding jobs in football. The pressure at that club never goes away. This next story is genuinely heartbreaking, and I think it's important we take a moment to acknowledge it properly. BBC Sport is reporting that Tottenham and Netherlands attacking midfielder Xavi Simons has torn his anterior cruciate ligament and will miss not only the rest of the club season, but also the upcoming World Cup. Simons himself has described being heartbroken by the news, and honestly, who could blame him? ACL injuries are brutal at the best of times, but to have your World Cup dream ripped away in one moment, that's devastating. Simons has been one of the most exciting young midfielders in Europe over the past couple of seasons, and his absence will be a massive blow both for Tottenham and for the Netherlands national team, who were counting on him to be a key creative force in the tournament. We here at Genai Football News wish Xavi a full and speedy recovery. Football needs players like him at the very highest stage. Now to a story that's stirring up serious controversy in the corridors of football governance. The Athletic is reporting that Lise Klaveness, the president of Norway's Football Association, has called for the FIFA Peace Prize to be completely abolished after it was awarded to former U.S. President Donald Trump. Klaveness didn't hold back, also publicly stating that she supports an ethics complaint filed against FIFA President Gianni Infantino by a human rights organization. These are incredibly strong words from a senior football administrator, and they reflect a wider frustration among many in the sport about the direction FIFA's leadership is heading. Now, we don't get into politics here at Genai Football News, but when the governance of the beautiful game itself is being called into question by senior figures within the sport, that's absolutely a football story worth covering. The debate around FIFA's credibility and its handling of major decisions isn't going away anytime soon. And finally, let's end on something that will have every football fan nodding along in agreement. Because if there's one thing that drives us all absolutely crazy, it's goalkeepers wasting time. BBC Sport is reporting that starting next season, football leagues around the world will be given the option to trial a series of new proposals specifically designed to crack down on the so-called tactical timeout, that infuriating habit where goalkeepers take an eternity to take goal kicks or restart play when their team is protecting a lead. For different solutions are apparently on the table, and leagues will be able to choose which trial they want to run. It's a welcome step, and honestly, long overdue. Time wasting in football has become a genuine stain on the game, and the fact that the sports authorities are actively trying multiple different approaches to solve it is genuinely encouraging. Which fix will work best? That's going to be fascinating to watch unfold next season. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on how those trials go. And that is a wrap for today's episode of Genai's Football News. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a single update. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.